table here. Oh, hang on, sorry. Sorry. My bad. Yeah, I like that. There's a bit of that. I like that. Ruined by the fact that I forgot to press mute on the TV.
Excited.
I know. Excited much. We are back, as you probably figured out by now, and we are the Chelsea Football Fancast. I am Stanford Chidge. He is Pablo or Jeff Reno. Yeah. I am Chijundo. This is Glanvino. And this is Io. Or Eeyore, if you prefer. Not saying that he's a donkey or anything. Now, this bit of the show is called You're on CFFC, which we have shamelessly nicked from Sky Sports. And it's basically the bit where you can phone us up by your phone or by Skype, and you can ask us anything you like about anything you want. And in order to do that, all you have to do is to either follow us or listen to the show on Mixlr at mixlr.com/Chelsea-Fancast. To have it on the screen would be joyous and wonderful. But I'm bored of waiting, so I'll move on. You can also follow Chatter on Twitter at Chelsea Fancast, and you can ask him questions on there. Hello, there we go, bit of on-screen graphicages. And last but by no means least, our Skype address is chelsea.fancast, and then you can organise a call with us and you can get on the show. Now, before we went to the break, we'd just shown a bit of video that Ivor Badil shot with Rick at the Allianz Arena in Munich on the 19th of May 2012. And just to pick up from that, Rick, I mean, how amazing to be that close to the joy of the players, Frank in particular. Amazing.
Just very lucky. I was there with Paul Dutton, and we just walked down from our seats as far as we could go, because we thought that we were on the corner, you see, so we thought, oh, well, look, the ceremony's going to be over there. So we walked down and then reached this sort of kind of gangway bit, and then I looked down the stairwell, and there was Robbie and the boys about to walk up. And Frank I know very well, and as he was walking up, because I send him statistics and things like that, and as he was coming up, I shouted
Does Frank like statistics?
He likes... I call him the history man, and he likes stats. He likes achievements.
Hang on. Hey, Chatter. Yeah. Cut to Chatter. Yeah. Chatter. Frank Lampard, Sir Frank of Lampard, likes statistics. How do you feel about... Has a little bit of we come out, Chatter?
A little bit. I mean, I had a question in the Chelsea magazine the other month. I got to ask Mourinho if stats were important. And he said they are useful, yes.
Hey, from Mourinho.
And I know that Mata has said that stats matter or are important.
Stats matter.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to tell me, Chatter?
I think it won't be long before you join us.
Okay, I'm getting there. Right, we really should get on with some questions. Chatter, do you have any questions for us this week?
Yeah, I'm going to be greedy and choose one myself, actually. I'm going to ask Rick, is there any massive Chelsea... Are there any Chelsea myths that are out there that you found in your research?
Actually, there are a couple that... One is that we've always played in royal blue. We haven't.
We played in kind of pale blue, Duggan's colours.
Eton blue.
Eton blue.
Which is a kind of duck egg blue for the first few years, probably the first 3 or 4 years. So when we talk about our traditional royal blue, it only goes back so far. But I think the one that I really... I feel sad for Marcel Desailly, that the goal that is quite often described as the most important in our history, which was the one that confirmed our status above Liverpool at the end of the 2002-03 season, which therefore meant we qualified for the Champions League and that Roman Baltus and all that sort of stuff. Everyone always says, including including Gronka himself, I scored the most important goal in Chelsea's history. He didn't. Marcel Desailly scored the most important goal in Chelsea's history.
We'd been fine with the draw.
Because we were ahead of Liverpool anyway, and a draw would have sufficed. Ironically, Gronkia, he got the goal that made everyone comfortable. But he got Gronkia got the assist. So in fact, he got the most important assist in our history, but not the most important goal. So I think that's the nice symmetry about it. And
that and the fact that Jesper Gronkia, to my knowledge, is the only Chelsea football player that has been compared to Forrest Gump.
Rightly or wrongly, I think there's
only because Forrest Gump came later. That kind of style.
But we used to, didn't you hear us? We were behind you, up at the back against something. Run, Forrest, run! Yeah. We used to do that every week.
Kick the ball in front and run after him.
Okay, Chatter.
I used to say about wingers that If there wasn't if the shed end didn't exist, he'd be out on the Fulham Road.
I like that.
Yeah.
That I like a lot. Cheddar, any next one?
Yeah, one from Astro Boy says that with Matic apparently arriving tomorrow, what do we all think of it?
Who wants to answer this one? Jonathan?
He's very good for Benfica, isn't he?
Yeah,
I just worry who's not going to play.
It essentially means we paid £45 million for David Luiz, which is an interesting thought. But
Well, you can say, did we sort of incubate him at Benfica for a bit? We didn't pay his wages there. He's come back.
Ultimately, I mean, we can
experience.
we can effectively have a free hit, having sold De Bruyne for roughly the same amount of money.
Exactly.
Really,
one in, one out.
Is he a good player? Yes, he is. Is he the type of player we need? I think he is the type of player we need.
Totally. I mean, I think this is the key thing, because a lot of people are getting their knickers in a twist on Twitter, etc., going, oh, but we let him go to Benfica, now we're having to waste all this money getting back. Well, it's not your money, so why do you care? Number one.
That's always the way. There were some Arsenal fans last night saying it made them feel physically sick.
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm delighted.
When did Fulham fans start worrying about money?
Arsenal fans always worry about money. Spreadsheet army. Your accountant's going to get his head kicked in. I'm delighted. The more we can make Arsenal fans feel physically sick, the happier I feel.
Sick with jealousy, or just they couldn't work it out?
No, they just drank too much latte, mate. They've probably got lactose intolerance or something. That's latte intolerant.
But who's not going to play?
Well, I think. Look,
Is it Mikel?
We all love Mikel. I mean, I know. I think you're a Mikel lover, aren't you?
Yeah, I like him. Particularly
I'm
since
a
the Champions League.
Mikel lover.
But particularly the last few games that he's played.
Yeah, I like Mikel.
Terrific.
We all like Mikel, but I think everybody who's honest would accept that he's
the game
possibly
slows
not
down a
the
bit.
best defensive midfielder in the world. I mean, and I think he's always struggled trying to follow Makelele, who defined the role. So if you've got a player who can be as good, if not better, than Mikel, or at least press him in terms of competition for that place, then that is a good thing.
He's not there to do that, though. Really,
you don't think he's there to do that?
He's not there. He's not there as direct competition.
So it's Mikel and Matic then, is what you're saying?
No, I mean, think of Matic as more of a kind of like Ballack mould midfielder. I mean, he kind of fights rather
like
than
that comparison.
I could see Mikel losing out on a 2 with Matic being the 2 and probably a Lampard or a Ramirez or someone playing alongside him. I think Mikel is at his best against the really top teams, Barcelona, Man United, Bayern Munich, people like that.
The big important games.
Where he's not so good is when you're at home against Stoke or Cardiff or someone like that, and you're looking for someone who is in that deep line role, who is probing and creating.
You're
He's
looking
not
for,
that
as Josie would put it, you're looking for aggressivity.
Yeah.
I like it's one of my favourite words this year.
But
I think we need more aggressivity.
Matic is a more dynamic, closer to the way that Luis plays that role.
Okay, interesting stuff. I believe we have somebody on Skype. Is that right? Gallery? We do. Is she a girl from Brazil? I can't wait. Do we get to see her as well? Even better. Hello, is that Barbara?
Hello guys, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm fine. It's such a pleasure to take part of the show. Thank you very much.
We're finding it very hard to hear you, Barbara. Can the boys in the gallery do something about the fact that we can't actually hear what Barbara's saying? Not really.
I'm not sure.
Barbara, we're going to come back to you because we can't hear you, and if we can't hear you, it's not going to work. Right, next question from Cheddar.
Okay, I've got one here from an old school friend of mine, actually. It's just a one-word answer.
When's the maths homework due in?
Yeah.
97.
Is signing Matic more important than signing a striker? Just one-word answer.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
DJ
abstaining,
You're
Danny.
abstaining?
Yeah.
Definitely is.
Okay. DJ Danny F says, what do we think about JT potentially coming out of international retirement for the World Cup?
Oh, good question. Rick, what do you think about that?
I can't see it happening.
You don't want it to happen.
Well, I'd love it to happen. Personally.
Really? You
Yeah,
would?
Yeah, I would. I'd love him to play. But
Why?
No.
him and Cahill are the best combination.
Yeah, but who cares about England?
It's a nightmare. Everything is wrong about it.
The FA wouldn't allow it.
No, they wouldn't allow it, and the media wouldn't allow it. It'd be
Much as I like to give myself a plug, there are people who are yet to be discovered in the Amazon rainforest who know that I like to give myself a plug. But I wrote my latest CFC UK about JT, and my own view on this is that JT should tell them where to shove it. I mean, I think that the way that I mean, the FA are without doubt one of the most appallingly run organised. I mean, they're like a throwback from the 50s. I mean, modern organisations are just not run with the level of incompetence.
Why has it taken so long to with this Quenelle stuff with Anelka? Why do they have to get someone?
Well, the Quenelle is actually a chicken dumpling dish.
No, I mean the symbol.
Yeah.
No.
I googled it. It's a chicken dumpling dish.
It's
used to antagonise Jewish people
Apparently.
all around the world. Why does the FA have any puzzle about it at all?
Because they're idiots.
Because they're concerned over how it looks upon them and whichever way they're at. But going back to
It's
Terry...
why John Terry needs to just stay out
But
of
going back to Terry,
it's an accident waiting to happen.
I think he'll come back. I think he'll end up in the squad.
I really hope not.
Really do.
If you're looking at empirically, who's the best? He is the best.
And I think he knows that, and I think he wants to play in the World Cup. So
But he
I
doesn't
think
need to prove
he'll
that.
end up
What's he
there.
got to prove? He's got everything to lose and nothing to gain.
No,
The
but
fact of the matter is that if John Terry doesn't play for England ever again, it will further his Chelsea career. And personally, that's all I care about.
Yeah,
and he owes them nothing.
I'm not saying
he
that's
owes
right,
them
but
nothing.
he'd like the opportunity to play in the World Cup in Brazil, I think, and I think he'll come back.
Well,
personally.
he'll just get tired and hot. Talking of Brazil, good segue. Good segue. We're going to have another try with Barbara, aren't we, Greg?
Yeah.
Hello, Barbara.
Hey.
Yes, we can hear you. Woo! How are you?
Oh, I can hear you very well, but it's here to me and I can hear the answer later from Rick.
Okay.
I suppose I can now ask my question.
What's your question, my love?
Well, you sort of already talked about what I wanted to ask because I've been seeing, coming from England, a lot saying about history and how we weren't a historical team because of the lack of silverware and all of those things. And it's very weird, especially for a Brazilian to hear something like that because we don't associate history with trophies, although of course they're very important. And I was going to ask about it, and then you guys talked about it already, so I'm not quite sure what else we can talk about it. But I'd like to ask Craig about the moments where he, my dog is shaking my instructor here. Sorry. I'd like to ask Craig about those memorable moments from our history, because sometimes I remember some moments and I start smiling, and it's the thing about being a thanks for the team, because we remember those times in just like the Moscow final, and then those memories come back to you, and that's what history is about. Those moments as a fan that we can relate to the team. So I'd like to ask some of his memorable moments with this amazing club.
All right. Barbara, I get it. Brilliant question. Rick, what are some of your most memorable moments as a Chelsea supporter?
Well, I was born in 1960, so
you don't look a day over 30, man.
I saw a lot of moments that didn't end in silverware, like Barbara was talking about. You're talking about, okay, silverware can be promotions. You win a promotion. I saw plenty of those. You can get pride at the fact that someone like Ray Wilkins can come through the ranks, the junior ranks,
my word,
and play for England. You can have. Look. What Barbara says is absolutely right. It's about what you feel as supporters. It's about the things that when you gather in the pub years afterwards, it's the bits that you remember, the bits that you talk about, the indelible in your memory. It's not always about the pots. We're lucky in the last few years we've won things, but before that we had plenty to talk about. We had plenty of people, players, moments, even something like some of our great supporters. It could be a moment in the crowd when someone's singing Zigga Zagga, and you always remember the old Zigga Zagga man, or that old bloke that used to carry newspapers around to every game. That's what football culture is about. It's about it's a community sharing those memories and sharing those moments. It's not necessarily about the winning and the pots and the glory.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with that because for me, you know, it's always been about the before and the after, perhaps more than the during. But if I was going to nail you down to one specific moment, if you're going to choose one moment, this is I am that's Kirsty Walker Scottish Bird. This is Desert Island Discs. You are really famous, and you're on Desert Island Discs. And what would be your one moment, your one Chelsea moment that is the most memorable moment for you?
Well, it would be Frank Lampard scoring the second goal at Bolton that won us the league title.
I like that. That's a great answer because actually that is for a lot of people. Barbara, what's your favourite moment, my love? Are you still on the line? What's your favourite moment in Chelsea's history?
I've been a fan for only 10 years, but I would have to say our first title with Mourinho because I value the Premier League more than the Champions League, actually. So it was a very good, special moment for me. And you had such a good whole season, and I'm so happy that the special one is back with us. So I'm going to. I remember a lot of games from that season. It was very, very special for me. So I'll go with our first EPL title with Mourinho.
That's a brilliant answer. Isn't that a brilliant answer, Rick? I mean, that's what
It's brilliant that we've got fans from Brazil,
isn't it?
I mean, it's just something that you grew up when you were 60s and 70s. You didn't, you know, all sorts of people came to Stamford Bridge, but you didn't imagine that you'd be conversing with a supporter of 10 years, 15 years standing who can talk about...
Yeah, exactly. And as passionately and as articulately as anybody that we know that go. Here's another thing for you, Barbara. I don't know if you were watching earlier on, but... You know, we've all adopted Brazilian names in honour of the fact that we have 4 fantastic Brazilian players that play for Chelsea. So, Paul is Jeffrinho, I am Chijundo, he is Io, and Rick is Glanvina. What do you think about that? Is that about right?
In here now.
No, I'll do it again. Right, we're going to go to a break now.
Yeah.
Oh no, you better phone us back next week and then we can talk because we've got Brazilian names and I have to share that with you. But annoyingly, that is all we've got time for, and you're on CFFC. Blimey, everything's going too blooming quickly tonight. We'll be back in a minute.
Cheers, Barbara.
Cheers, Barbara.